Shocking weekend in America. NBA superstar James Harden arrested in Houston. The basketball world was left stunned this weekend after explosive reports emerged claiming that NBA superstar James Harden was arrested by Houston police on allegations related to illegal weapon possession. Although reports indicate that Harden was released on bail less than 2 hours after being taken into custody, the incident has already ignited intense debate across sports media, social networks, and fan communities throughout the United States. For millions of basketball fans, the news came completely out of nowhere. James Harden, one of the most recognizable figures in professional basketball, has spent years building a legacy as one of the NBA's most gifted offensive players. Known for his dazzling ball handling, elite scoring ability, and larger-than-life personality, Harden has remained a constant headline maker throughout his career. However, this latest controversy has placed him at the center of attention for reasons that have nothing to do with basketball. According to early reports circulating throughout the weekend, authorities in Houston allegedly detained Harden during an investigation involving a firearm. Details surrounding the circumstances remain limited, and officials have yet to release a complete timeline of events. Nevertheless, the mere suggestion that one of the NBA's biggest stars could be involved in a weapons-related case was enough to trigger a media storm. Within minutes of the first reports appearing online, social media platforms exploded with reactions. Fans expressed disbelief. Critics demanded answers. Sports commentators rushed to analyze every available detail, and news outlets across the country began covering the developing story around the clock. The situation became even more dramatic when reports suggested that Harden was released after spending less than 2 hours in custody. While some viewed the quick release as evidence that the case might not be as severe as initially feared, others argued that significant questions still remain unanswered. What exactly happened? Was there a misunderstanding? Could there be additional developments in the coming days? At the moment, speculation continues to dominate public discussion. Many legal experts have pointed out that allegations involving illegal firearm possession can vary significantly depending on the circumstances. Factors such as licensing status, location, ownership documentation, and local regulations often play crucial roles in determining whether charges ultimately proceed. Because official information remains limited, analysts have urged fans to avoid rushing to conclusions. Still, the timing of the incident could hardly be worse. The NBA offseason is typically a period when players focus on training, recovery, endorsements, and preparation for the upcoming season. Instead, Harden now finds himself facing a flood of questions about his personal life and legal situation. The reaction from basketball fans has been divided. Some supporters have defended the former MVP, arguing that everyone deserves the presumption of innocence until all facts are known. They point out that high-profile athletes are frequently subjected to intense scrutiny and that early reports can sometimes paint an incomplete picture. Others believe that professional athletes carry a special responsibility due to their influence on young fans and their status as public figures. From this perspective, any incident involving law enforcement naturally raises concerns and deserves careful examination. Meanwhile, sports television networks have devoted extensive coverage to the story. Former players have weighed in. Legal analysts have offered their opinions. Journalists have attempted to separate confirmed facts from online rumors. The result has been a non-stop cycle of discussion that has kept Harden's name trending throughout the weekend. Adding to the intrigue is Harden's long-standing connection to Houston. Although his NBA journey has taken him to multiple teams over the years, Houston remains the city most closely associated with his rise to superstardom. During his years with the Houston Rockets, Harden transformed into one of the league's most dominant players and became a beloved figure among local fans. That connection makes the alleged arrest particularly surprising. For many Houston supporters, Harden is more than just a basketball player. He is a symbol of one of the most exciting eras in franchise history. As a result, emotions surrounding the case have been especially intense. Some fans are hoping that the situation will ultimately prove to be minor and quickly resolved. Others fear that the controversy could create long-term damage to Harden's reputation, regardless of the legal outcome. Public relations experts often note that in today's digital age, perception can become almost as important as reality. News travels instantly, and social media discussions can shape narratives long before official investigations are completed. For athletes, this reality creates enormous challenges. Every headline becomes magnified. Every rumor spreads at lightning speed. And every public appearance is analyzed in extraordinary detail. As the weekend continues, attention is now turning toward potential statements from Harden's representatives, legal team, and NBA officials. Will Harden address the controversy directly? Will authorities provide additional information? Could further developments emerge in the coming days? Those questions remain unanswered. What is certain, however, is that the story has already become one of the biggest sports headlines of the weekend. Whether the allegations ultimately lead to formal legal consequences or prove to be less serious than initially reported, the incident has once again demonstrated how quickly the fortunes of a global sports icon can change. One moment, the conversation is about basketball. The next, it is about police reports, legal procedures, and public scrutiny. For James Harden, the coming days may prove critical. Fans, journalists, and basketball insiders alike will be watching closely for the next chapter in a story that has shocked the sports world and captivated audiences across America. Until more verified information becomes available, speculation will continue to swirl. But one thing is already clear. This is a weekend James Harden and the NBA will not forget anytime soon.